Hey guys, this is Floridian Elevators here, and I am in this video. This is obviously not an elevator video. I am going to be doing a trip announcement. This will be my first trip announcement because, Up and Down Adventures has been doing them, and no, this is not intended to copy him. But I just figured I'd do one because this is going to be a big trip, and I'm going to be have little to no content on my channel for probably 2 weeks until I get back, and I'm going to be leaving in just a couple days. So with that being said, I'll let you know and just kind of discuss where I'll be going and some of the elevators I want to see, and yeah. So let's get this done here. So in this trip, I'm gonna be going to Seattle, Washington, and San Francisco, California, and Portland, Oregon, and Sacramento, California, and I'm also going to be stopping in Santa Rosa and San Jose, California, and I am also going to be going to Yosemite and Olympia, which I really don't care for to do, but my mom wants to do that on the trip. She likes nature national parks. I hate it. I like cities and stuff, but we may or may not make it to Fresno, but we do not know for sure. And I know I've talked to you guys about Canada, but that's sadly not going to happen on this trip, but possibly next year. But yeah, anyways, I figured I'd let you know about the trip and some of the places I'm going. I'm probably also going to stop in Lake Oswego and Tigard, Oregon, and where else? Oh yeah, and also Tacoma, too, in that area in Washington, and then Bellevue, because Tacoma's got a ton of vintage elevators. And as you guys know, in case you don't know by now, my favorite type of elevators are vintage elevators, in particular vintage Otises, like Otis Lexan, Otis Black Button, and touch-sensitive Autotronics, and yeah, I also like vintage 50s and 60s Dovers, and I like the black button Dovers and with GAL, and I like stuff like that. And I also love the gated bird-caged Otises, and I'm going to get to see some vintage Haustons and some Westinghouse Selectomatics, and yeah, this is going to be an awesome trip. I'm also going to get to see some rare stuff like Mitsubishi. I'm going to get to ride my first Mitsubishi. And I'm going to get to see some Otis Series 3, maybe another Series 6, hopefully. Well, that's already been filmed, but still another Series 6. And also some Otis Vanities, and some Empire and Silver State elevators, and all sorts of different type of stuff. So yeah, I'll discuss some of the places I may go to on this trip. So anyways, I am going to be going to, as you know, I mentioned Seattle. I plan on filming some of the high-rise towers there because I found out that some of the high-rise towers got some cool stuff. Like, there's some that were built in the 70s, I'm finding, which could possibly have some vintage elevators there. And also, I'm going to be staying in Pioneer Square, and there's the Pioneer Building, which has a vintage Otis that's bird-caged with Otis Lexan fixtures from the 60s, and also an Otis Black Button at a building nearby, and there's also some other elevators that are really nice. Like, there's a fair amount of Otis Lexans, both the classic and the 80s version, because some of the high-rises have the 80s Lexan with Elevonic 401, and in Bellevue, there's a 60s Dover and a few Lexans there, and in Seattle itself, the University District has a ton of black buttons and a couple original Westinghouse Selectomatics, and also, what is probably the rarest fixture, Dover Traditional Vandal Resistant. Yep, I said it. And there's also, the a lot of other cool elevators there, because Pioneer District, there's some vintage Dovers and Otises there, and there's even some gated elevators now. And there's also a fair amount of touch-sensitive autotronics in Seattle. I mean, P&W Elevators filmed a couple of them, but there's some that haven't even been filmed yet. So I'm really looking forward to that. And, yeah, I mean... And then for San Francisco, that's probably the part I'm most excited for this trip. There's the, I found out that there's a ton of vintage elevators, even in the high-rise office buildings. I've been, because a lot of the places I've been finding out about, that I want to give credit to Up and Down Adventures, Traction 151, and I've also been looking up buildings and their history and some pictures of them, and on Google Maps and Google Street View and stuff. So I've been finding a ton of vintage elevators, because I'm going to be in the financial district, in the Union Square district, and Lower Nob Hill in San Francisco. They have a ton of gated Otises and some gated Pacific elevators and some Van Emon elevators, or Vicos and Picos as some people like to call them. And there's also, I found out that there's actually a building in San Francisco that actually has a 50-story Otis touch sensitive. Now, I'm pretty sure it's original. I'm not 100% sure, because I don't want to lie to you and break a promise here, but I'm pretty sure it's original. And then there's also quite a fair amount of other touch sensitives, and none of them have been filmed yet. And like I said, I don't know if they're modded or if they're original. I'm pretty sure they are, because San Francisco tends to keep a lot of buildings with original elevators original, but you never know. So I'm not gonna just lie to you and tell you that they're still existing, but I'm pretty positive that they are. And then there's also some Elevonic 401s and some Otis Vanities and a fair amount of Mitsubishis, and I'm also going to be in Fisherman's Wharf and off of Lombard Street. There's some old mom and pop style hotels from the 50s and the 60s that got some vintage elevators, and then and sadly, Pier 39, I don't think it's going to be worth checking out, because from what I know, all the elevators, all the Lexans are all gone, but Alioto's restaurant on Pier 45 is still original, and I'm going to be asking permission from several hotels to ride their service elevators in San Francisco, because some of them have vintage Otis Lexans and some Otis black buttons. I mean, and I'm finding out San Francisco is filled with Otis black buttons and Otis Lexans, actually. And I also know there's quite a few Otis Autotronic touch sensitive. Like I said, not 100% sure if they're original or not, but I'm very sure on it. Like, pretty sure. Not 100%, but pretty sure. And then there's, let me think. And then there's there's some Westinghouse Select-O-Matics, I think, that are original. And right by Fisherman's Wharf, there's a place called the Wharf Inn, and from Google Street View, from what I can make out of it, it appears to be an early 70s Dover with black traditional. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool elevators in San Francisco. I've also found some gated elevators. Some are even manually controlled, and Up and Down Adventures told me about a few of them, and yeah, I mean, I'm just so excited about San Francisco. And let me think about some other places. Oh yeah, I'm planning on riding some famous elevators like Nico Hotel and the Compass at St. Francis. And from my understanding, the mods at the Park 55 and the Park Central Hotel, which were both modded, because the Park 55 got an Otis Compass mod, which was originally Otis Elevonic 401 Series 1, and then there's the Park Central, which was Otis Series 2 Elevonic 411, but they got Series 7 mods, so, and rumor has it that both of them are done. Because I've been looking at TripAdvisor reviews. So with that being said, I'm gonna go check those places out. We'll see how that is, and I'm gonna be staying at the Wyndham Canterbury, by the way. So yeah, and then I'm also going to be going to Sacramento, only for a day, so not super long, but I plan on seeing the Delta King Hotel, and I'm going to see, because I seriously think there may be a vintage service elevator there, so I'm going to ask permission to ride it if I can. There's also a partially bird-caged elevator in Old Sacramento that Joe Elevator filmed, and there's also, there's also a place near the Capitol with a gated Otis elevator, and there was one that had no doors on it that Up and Down Adventures film that had no inner doors, and yeah, there's some cool ones there, and then the Train Museum has a Otis Lexan, and yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, obviously there's not a lot compared to San Francisco, but still nice, and Santa Rosa's got a fair amount of Lexans. Well, no, I shouldn't say a lot, but like quite a few, and then I'd probably say as much as Gatlinburg had. And then I'm going to be in San Jose. I'm planning on filming at the Fairmont Hotel and the O'Connor Hospital and the El Camino Hospital, and where else? Also, the Swenson Building and 84 West Clara. Now, I don't know if the mod will be done when I'm here. I don't know what the progress of the mod currently is, but I'll let you know about it, and, I still think it's probably worth checking out. And I'm gonna film some other elevators there. I'm having a meetup there, and, now I don't know about Fresno, like I said, but I will be filming at the elevator at the hotel I stay at in Yosemite, and also a hotel nearby. And, now for Reno, a lot of the elevators have been filmed already. I'm going to be filming most of those elevators that have probably already been filmed, because they're going to be fun to ride on to me. Now I'm going to be staying at Grand Sierra Resort there. And I'm going to try to ask permission to ride their service elevators, which are touch-sensitive Otises. And also regarding the Grand Sierra, the elevators there, I don't know if they have any Series 3s there anymore, because the renovations took place and they appear to be Series 4, but they had Series 3 buttons on them. And then, excuse me. And also, another thing about Reno is that there's a lot of old school mom and pop hotels from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s that appear to have vintage elevators, but I'm not going to go in them if they appear to be unsafe, because I have a feeling they may not be safe places to go into, and I'm going to want to check the inspection certificates, and make sure they work before I ride them, because especially after my experience at the Brookside Resort where I got stuck in that elevator. But yeah, there's a lot of cool hotels that are like that, but like I said, I don't know if they're going to be safe or not, because I've heard some stuff about a couple of them, but we'll have to see. We'll see about that. Some of them literally advertise they got an elevator, so, and they appear to be vintage, like I said, and then I'm going to be in Portland, as you know, and Portland, they got a lot of vintage elevators there, and we're staying, as a matter of fact, in a brand new residence next to the Union Station, which has a 1930s Otis, and there's also a few touch-sensitive Otises there, too, and along with some Westinghouse Selectomatics, which is nice. And also, I forgot to mention, Seattle has quite a few vintage Dovers, and on my way to Reno, I'm going to be filming some elevators in Lake Tahoe and the 968 Park Hotel and the Tahoe Lakeshore Lodge and I think the Calneva and the Lakeside Inn all have vintage elevators, and they have all not been filmed yet. And there's also another place that's not lake viewed, but I'll film it probably. I just forgot the name, but yeah, and then I'm gonna be, let me think. And I'm also, like I said, in the Residence Inn I'm staying at, it has a brand new Series 7, which I'm going to dedicate to Seminole elevators, and yeah, and also I'm planning on meeting up with a few people. I'm going to be meeting up with West Coast Elevators and Up and Down Adventures in San Jose, and in Portland, I'm probably going to end up meeting up with Riley Elevators, and I plan on filming a ton of elevators on this trip, and because of this trip, since it's going to be 2.5 weeks long, I'm going to be low or no content for these 2 weeks, and that's because I'm going to be filming with my RX 100, and I want quality content on this trip. I don't want it to be low quality or be poor, but yes, guys, and on my way, I'll be in Coos Bay and Bend, Oregon, and Kalaloch Beach, Washington, but I'm really not going to be filming really little to no elevators there. There's not really a whole lot to see, but I may get to film a couple, but not a lot. Alright, so following what I was saying, yeah, I'm not going to film much, and of course, Coos Bay, and Bend, and where else will I not be filming much? Oh yeah, also Yosemite, I won't be doing much, but yeah, I'll get to film a lot of elevators on this trip. Not sure exactly how many, but I'll definitely be getting a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna be filming several places on this trip, and I'm gonna be meeting up with a few people. Like I said, I'm gonna be meeting up with West Coast Elevators, Riley Elevators, and Up and Down Ventures. And guys, this trip is going to be in 3 days, and I am beyond excited for this trip. So, with that being said, I am so excited, and I hope you're as excited as I am to go on this trip to see my new content and all the elevators I'm going to be filming. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, so be sure to stay tuned for some content in the coming weeks. I won't be able to upload any next week or the week after, but be sure to expect it to come. And yeah, guys, so I hope you liked this video, and that's it.